you guys are a fan of hip hop, if you're a fan of Southern hip hop to be specific, you've heard of the beef happening between Ace and Julio Foolio. But shockingly, this involves Julio Foolio, but does not involve Ace. This is Julio Foolio beef with NBA YoungBoy. They happen to be in my old stomping grounds in Orlando. NBA YoungBoy had a show out there, and Julio Foolio pulls up to his hotel to address some things. We've heard about this before. I don't remember the exact story on why he pulled up. It was something dumb, but I know he was in a hotel room. Julio Foolio says he was banging on his door. I forgot the exact story. Maybe we could look it up right after this. But more interesting, NBA YoungBoy's bodyguard says why he didn't do anything to protect his client. Do you guys think that he was in the right or he was in the wrong after we see this? Talking about being on the clock and not being on the clock. If he was on the clock, he would have protected YoungBoy. If he wasn't, he's not going to care. Do you guys think that is professional? If you have a client, not any client, but NBA YoungBoy, a client that has a lot of beef, to take that job and then say when people run up on him, if you're not on the clock and you're there, you're not going to do anything. It just doesn't seem professional to me, but let's see his explanation.
He never said what he wanted, so I was intermediate with him. I was not too close, but not too far. Okay. I don't know what you want. You know what I mean? Sometimes clients, they want you next to them. Sometimes they want you to play the outfield. Okay. But I ain't knowing. Foolio them came to the hotel in Orlando, but I was off the clock. Yeah, so I sit down and I just watched. I was watching it like NBA had his entourage and Foolio had his entourage, and like none of them didn't kick off. But you know, I'm off the clock. You on your own. You know what I mean? I'm just saying.
How do you guys feel about that? I saw that online and it irritated me. And me hearing it once again, it irritates me. Because I get it. You're on the clock. You're not on the clock. You are with your client. That's like somebody calling me for my job. Even now is why I look over sometimes. If I happen to be on my desk, it could be 6:30. It's 6:30 right now. I'm done working about an hour to 30 minutes ago. But if someone calls me for my job right now and says, yo, I need your help on this real quick, do you guys think I'm going to tell them I'm not on the clock? Call me tomorrow. And I'm salary, so I wouldn't even get paid if I help out right now, which I do all the time. Thing is, you have a responsibility. You have even more responsibility when you take a job as a bodyguard for a person that you know has a lot of beef, a lot of drama, and there's a serious gang like Julio Foolio in Florida. Yeah, it's not Jacksonville, his hometown, but Jacksonville's closer to Orlando than it is to Louisiana, Baton Rouge. So I would still consider this Julio Foolio's hometown over than NBA YoungBoy. As a bodyguard, and his bodyguard looks like he's from Florida. So as a bodyguard, I would say it was your responsibility on the clock or off the clock to always make sure your client's protected. Now, if you need to get a little extra pay because you have to go in there and whip some ass or some shit, and you happen to not be on the clock, that is between you and your client. I understand if you want fees, not everyone would, but I understand if you think you should be compensated for working overtime. We'll talk about that after. But if I ever hear a bouncer or a bodyguard that I hired say he's not helping me due to his shift ended 5 minutes ago, you will be sued. Not only will you be sued, if that shit don't go through, you will be packed out by the next security guard that I hire.
I was on the clock. Yeah. I had to regulate this shit. You know what I mean? But I wasn't on the clock, so it's like, you know, fuck you, fuck me, fuck you. Excuse my language, but sometimes you gotta give it to them like that because they talk so street and they sometimes try to apply it in the business. And I'm not with that. Come to me as a businessman.
Yeah, for sure.
Or, you know, you come in crooked, well, all right, let's go. You know what I mean? But
it seems like he wanted you to be a gang member, not a bodyguard.
I don't know what he wanted, because he's just me mugging, and I just like, yo, this is my face. You saw my face. This is my natural look. Yeah. I've been through some shit back home, so I'm not faking. I'm not. You can see he fixes his face to look hard. Like I don't like, nah, I ain't gotta do that.
So there was a standoff at the hotel.
Yeah, so it looks like there's a little personal tension between the bodyguard and NBA YoungBoy. So that's why he happens to feel the way he is, or I feel like that's the way he's speaking on this platform. Did he feel the same way he felt that day? Maybe NBA YoungBoy is a good energy spotter, and he just happened to see that you really wasn't with him from the beginning because you happened to not step in when he really needed you. So is NBA YoungBoy wrong for not really feeling comfortable with you? You kind of proved his point right with the actions you took when you saw him in danger and did nothing but sit there.
Tell with YoungBoy and Foolio, or is it just...
Yeah, it wasn't really a standoff. Like, Foolio them came to the hotel. I guess they know the hotel, so they was probably up and down looking for NBA YoungBoy. And then they went outside, and then YoungBoy came downstairs. But Foolio had more people with him. But I left. I catch the lift, and I went to the airport. Because I'm off the clock. I'm not responsible. You got this figured out. You know, go ahead. You know what I mean? Like I said, I got kids to go home to.
I understand he got kids to go home to, but I don't respect that. Something would happen to YoungBoy, I feel like he would have been the first person to post RIP in a whole paragraph crying. We see this time and time again after we keep losing so many musicians. And he also said Foolio had more people, which I understood that because, again, Jacksonville was a quicker drive to Orlando. It's not even like they were in Miami. They were in Orlando. You halfway there. You only 2 hours away. I used to go to Jacksonville football games. You 2 hours away. So I can see how him and his goons would pull up over there if they had need to settle some shit. I just don't feel like this is professional. Also, if you happen to hire a bodyguard or you own a company like this, how do you feel if one of your clients say something like this? I'm not protecting him because I'm off the clock and I'm not getting paid and I got a family to go home to. Then you should have thought of that before you took the job for a person like NBA YoungBoy, that you won't understand he's in drama. And maybe you understood that he was going back and forth with Foolio before he got there. And maybe you didn't. Maybe you don't pay attention to none of this. You're too old. This is like young kid drama. You don't care about this. I understand. But you understood when you took the job. And your job is to protect your client at all times of you being there. For you to leave and go take a flight, it just screams unprofessional. I don't respect it at all. Guys, let me know down below how you feel. Like the video, subscribe to the channel. We are currently on the road to 10,000 subs. We're going to do a huge giveaway at 10,000 subs. So make sure you're here for it. Sub up, sub up, sub up. And like I love to say, until the next one, we're out of here.